Good evening. I did finish eating my food and charging my camcorder. I'm uploading video. So I like to go to bed. It's very cold outside, but it's not even 5. It's not 5 p.m. yet, so I'd like to read one more. Then I can read tomorrow. Yes, I need to check my cell phone. Yes, sir. I had to reply and I'm typing slow.
Zyklon B. This is a good article. Click here for more information. Extended protected article. Zyklon labels from Dachau concentration camp used as evidence at the Nuremberg trials. The first and third panels contain manufacturer information and brand name. The center panel reads poison gas. Cyanide preparation to be opened and used evenly by trained personnel. Zyklon B, German, TS Zyklon B, translated Zyklon B, was the trade name of a cyanide-based pesticide invented in Germany in the early 1920s. It consists of hydrogen cyanide, prussic acid, as well as a cautionary irritant and one of several adsorbents such as diatomaceous earth. The product is notorious for its use by Nazi Germany during the Holocaust to murder approximately 1.1 million people in gas chambers installed at Auschwitz-Birkenau, Majdanek, and other extermination camps. A hydrogen cyanide, a poisonous gas that interferes with cellular respiration, was first used as a pesticide in California in the 1880s. Research at the Geschichte of Germany led to the development of Zyklon, later known as Zyklon, a pesticide that released hydrogen cyanide upon exposure to water and heat. It was banned after World War I, when Germany used a similar product as a chemical weapon. Degas purchased the Geschichte in 1922. Their team of chemists, which included Walter Hirt and Bruno Tesch, devised a method of packaging hydrogen cyanide in sealed canisters along with a cautionary irritant and one of several adsorbents such as diatomaceous earth. The new product was also named Zyklon, but it became known as Zyklon B to distinguish it from the earlier version. Uses included delusing clothing and fumigating ships, warehouses, and trains. The Nazis started using Zyklon B in extermination camps in early 1942 to murder prisoners during the Holocaust. Tesch and his deputy executive, Karl Weinbacher, were executed in 1946 for knowingly selling the product to the SS for use on humans. Hydrogen cyanide is now rarely used as a pesticide but still has industrial applications. Firms in several countries continue to produce Zyklon B under alternative brand names, including Detia Digesh, the successor to Digesh, who renamed the product Cyanozil in 1974. Mode of action. Hydrogen cyanide is a poisonous gas that interferes with cellular respiration. Cyanide prevents the cell from producing adenosine triphosphate, ATP, by binding to one of the proteins involved in the electron transport chain. 2. This protein, cytochrome C oxidase, contains several subunits and has ligands containing ion groups. The cyanide component of Zyklon B can bind at one of these ion groups, HEMA3, forming a more stabilized compound through metal to ligand pi bonding. As a result of the formation of this new ion cyanide complex, the electrons that would situate themselves on the HEMA3 group can no longer do so. Instead, these electrons destabilize the compound, thus, the Hem group no longer accepts them. Consequently, electron transport is halted, and cells can no longer produce the energy needed to synthesize ATP. 2. Death occurs in a human being weighing 68 kilograms, 150 pounds, within 2 minutes of inhaling 70 mg of hydrogen cyanide. 3. 4. History. A fumigation team in New Orleans 1939. Zyklon canisters are visible. Hydrogen cyanide, discovered in the late 18th century, was used in 1880s for the fumigation of citrus trees in California. Its use is spread to other countries for the fumigation of silos, goods wagons, ships, and mills. Its lightweight and rapid dispersal meant its application had to take place under tents or in enclosed areas. 4. Research by Fritz Haber of the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Physical Chemistry and Electrochemistry led to the founding in 1919 of Deutsche Gesellschaft für Schadlingsbekämpfung mbH, DGESH, a state-controlled consortium formed to investigate military use of the chemical. 5. Chemists at DGESH added a cautionary irritant to a less volatile cyanide compound which reacted with water in the presence of heat to become hydrogen cyanide. The new product was marketed as the pesticide Zyklon. As a similar formula had been used as a weapon by the Germans during World War I, Zyklon was soon banned. 6. Deutsche Gold- und Silberschmiedeinstalt, German gold and silver refinery, Degesar, became sole owners of DGESH in 1922. There, beginning in 1922, Walter Hirt, Bruno Tesch, and others worked on packaging hydrogen cyanide in sealed canisters along with a cautionary irritant, B, and adsorbent stabilizers such as diatomaceous earth. The new product was also labeled as Zyklon, but it became known as Zyklon B to distinguish it from the earlier version. 8. Hirt was named the inventor of Zyklon B in the DGESH patent application, numbered a 438,818, dated the 20th of June, 1922. The Deutsches Patent- und Markenamt awarded the patent on the 27th of December 1926. 9. Beginning in the 1920s, Zyklon B was used ATU.S. customs facilities along the Mexican border to fumigate the clothing of border crossers. 10. 11. Corporate structure and marketing. In 1930, Degesar ceded 42.5% ownership of DGESH to IG Farben and 15% to TH. Goldschmidt AG, in exchange for the right to market pesticide products of those two companies through DGESH. 12. Degazar retained managerial control. 13. While Digest owned the rights to the brand name Zyklon and the patent on the packaging system, the chemical formula was owned by Degazar. 14. Schlemp GmbH, which was 52% owned by Degazar, owned the rights to a process to extract hydrogen cyanide from waste products of sugar beet processing. This process was performed under license by two companies, Dessauer Work and Kalai Work Colin, who also combined the resulting hydrogen cyanide with stabilizer from IG Farben and a cautionary agent from Schoen AG to form the final product, which was packaged using equipment, labels, and canisters provided by Digest. 15. 16. The finished goods were sent to Digest, who forwarded the product to two companies that acted as distributors, Heertlinger GmbH, Helle, of Frankfurt, and Tesch and Stebenau, Tester, of Hamburg. Their territory was split along the Elbe River, with Helle handling clients to the west and south, and Tester those to the east. 17. Digest owned 51% of the shares of Helle, and until 1942 owned 55% of Tester. 18. Prior to World War II, Digest derived most of its Zyklon B profits from overseas sales, particularly in the United States, where it was produced under license by Rosela and Hasslasher prior to 1931 and by American Cyanamid from 1931 to 1943. 19. From 1929, the United States Public Health Service used Zyklon B to fumigate freight trains and clothes of Mexican immigrants entering the United States. 20. Uses in Germany included delusing clothing, often using a portable sealed chamber invented by Digest in the 1930s, and fumigating ships, warehouses, and trains. 21. By 1943, sales of Zyklon B accounted for 65% of Digest's sales revenue and 70% of its gross profits. 21. Use in the Holocaust. Empty Zyklon B canisters found by the Allies at Auschwitz-Birkenau in 1945. In early 1942, the Nazis began using Zyklon B as the preferred killing tool in extermination camps during the Holocaust. 22. They used it to murder roughly 1.1 million people in gas chambers at Auschwitz-Birkenau, Majdanek, and elsewhere. 23. 24. Zyklon B was preferred because it was assumed to be a humane killing method, with the Nazis priding themselves as civilized killers. 25. Most of the victims were Jews, and by far the majority of murders using this method took place at Auschwitz. 26. 27. C. Distributor Helle supplied Zyklon B to Mauthausen in Dachau and Buchenwald, and Tester supplied it to Auschwitz and Majdanek. Camps also occasionally bought it directly from the manufacturers. 29. Some 56 tons of the 729 tons sold in Germany in 1942-44 were sold to concentration camps, amounting to about 8% half domestic sales. 30. Auschwitz received 23.8 tons, of which 6 tons were used for fumigation. The remainder was used in the gas chambers or lost to spoilage. The product had a stated shelf life of only 3 months. 31. Tester conducted fumigations for the Wehrmacht and supplied them with Zyklon B. They also offered courses to the SS in the safe handling and use of the material for fumigation purposes. 32. In April 1941, the German Agriculture and Interior Ministries designated the SS as an authorized applier of the chemical, which meant they were able to use it without any further training or governmental oversight. 33. Rudolf Höss at his trial in Poland, 1947. Rudolf Höss, commandant of Auschwitz, said that the use of Zyklon B to murder prisoners came about on the initiative of one of his subordinates, SS Hauptsturmführer, Captain Karl Fritsch, who had used it to murder some Russian POWs in late August 1941 in the basement of Block 11 in the main camp. They repeated the experiment on more Russian POWs in September, with hosts watching. 34, 35. Block 11 proved unsuitable, as the basement was difficult to air out afterwards, and the crematorium I, which operated until July 1942, was some distance ca. 35. The site of the murders was moved to crematorium I, where